I'm on the startup farm in the Farming Simulator 2022 on the Elk Creek map. So I'd have one goat's pen. That land isn't even enough for me to put on another goat's pen, so I just have one. Have a look at my other videos on how do you collect goat's milk. It shows you how to put the mod into the game. And how do I know if my goats need straw or not? So hopping into the tanker and looking at the F1 menu, you can see that when I press R, I'm able to collect the goat's milk in this tanker. Let's see how I got to this point. I've gone back to a previous version of the game where I bought male adults. They were 12 months and the females were 8 months. So I conducted an experiment and put in mixed breeds into the same pen. The majority of them were Welsh female with 3 Welsh males, and then I had a mix of the stone goats and the Blenheim goats. So just a couple of things that I would like to point out to you from this experiment that I conducted. So I found the Welsh were producing a lot faster. I don't know if that was because all the males were Welsh. I did notice in my settings that I had not turned on allow overcrowding and I hadn't turned on allow automatic reproduction. Now, just a note about allow overcrowding. This does not mean that you can go and buy more goats either from the animal dealer or have them delivered to you. It means that you can allow overcrowding for when the kids, the baby goats, are born. So that was one thing that I found out. So when you set up your pen, you'll need to change those settings. So after the experiment, what I decided to do was to sell all the breeds except for the Welsh. And I found once I did that, the female goats had 22 kids, 22 babies. So it was worthwhile selling the other breeds, I think. So having a look at the storage tanker, this stores 10,000 litres. So you'll need a tanker that can take at least 10,000, if not more. So you pop into the store, trailers, and then under animals. Now, the mistake I made was stopping at the first tanker that says milk tankers. So I purchased the one that has a 32,000 litre capacity. That was my mistake because it does not collect goat's milk. This is for collecting cow's milk, even though the symbol says milk. So when you download the mod for the goat's pen, it comes with its own tanker. So keep scrolling until you see these mods, and they're specifically for goat's milk. Now again, the storage tanker takes 10,000 litres. You'll see that this one can store 8,000, whereas the other model takes 32,000. So this is the one that I purchased in my game to make sure that I had enough storage in my tanker to collect it from the goats. In my current version of the game, we're now 11 months ahead. The female adults are 25 months old and they are currently producing 1,065 litres of milk. Let's see what happened from when I first put the goats in up until now. We know when we buy the female goats, they're 8 months old. They have a gestation period of 5 months, and then they start giving birth at 14 months old. At that stage of the game, I hadn't allowed for overcrowding, so they only produced 7 kids. The milk that was produced was 1,031 litres. When I changed the setting to allow for overcrowding, then the milk that was produced was 4,331 litres, and the females were aged 15 months. When the females were 19 months old, I sold all other breeds, and they gave birth to 22 kids. Tracking the production of the females, at 21 months they gave 1,857 litres of milk. 22 months they gave 2,048 litres of milk, and I sold 14 male kids. At 23 months they gave 1,749 litres of milk, and at 24 months it dropped down to 904 litres while they were feeding 12 kids. At 25 months they gave 1,065 litres of milk, and I sold 7 male kids. So in answer to the question, when do goats start producing milk and for how long? They start producing at age 14 months, as long as you've got billy goats in there for them to have offspring, and as long as you have allowed for overcrowding and automatic reproduction. So 14 months is when you will expect to get some milk. Now, how long do they produce milk? Well, in my experiment, I found every month they have been producing milk. It goes up and down depending on how many kids they have. So my advice is keep the female kids and sell the male kids. You'll find that once you do that, the following month, you'll start seeing the production of milk increase. Now, the reason why you keep the female kids is you're wanting them to get older until they're at an age of when they can start having kids, and then you can start selling your existing adult female goats because they are getting older. Thank you for watching.